You asked for it. Here it is. It's a podcast from Apathetic Enthusiasm.
Get ready.
Get ready. Breathe.
I was going to do it, but then I heard myself do it, and it sounded annoying, and I thought, what's worse?
Are you breathing?
Sorry.
Namaste. Do you start yoga with namaste, or do you end it with Can you start with both?
You mean, can you both start and end with namaste?
Yeah. That's what I meant.
I think you can.
Okay.
I'm not sure, 100% sure the exact translation of namaste, but I always think of it as saying something like, the divine light in me salutes the divine light in you.
Okay. Is that a universal yoga thing, or is that just like the one yoga that you heard that one time?
Which part? Namaste? I think that's universal.
No. The divine light in me.
I heard it before.
Okay.
One time.
Okay. Yeah, that's
stuck with me.
Okay. That was the question, because I'm like, I don't know if yoga like has like the script like Catholic mass, or like they have to like start every session.
There is a lot of standing and sitting and kneeling.
There you go.
So maybe I've moved on from Catholic school to yoga. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Fulfills my need to sacrament.
That's right. And in a way, that's what we're talking about today on this episode of Our Real Relationships.
Yes.
We're so happy to have you here. I am Brandon.
I'm Chelsea. And
we are here to talk to you about the movies that make our relationships. They make them. Yes.
Without them, we would be dead inside.
So a couple ways you can find us. I made like a little cheat sheet for it, and I lost it somewhere. It's like,
just Google.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Our Real Relationships.
Instagram at Our Real Relationships, Bluesky OurReelRelations.bsky.social, or YouTube. You can find our video content over at Apathetic Enthusiasm.
I think also if you type in Our Real Relationships on YouTube, a couple of them come up. I don't know.
Yeah, a couple of them come up. I don't know either, but we're obviously.
But that's if you only want to see how fabulous we look, which just save yourself the trouble. Trust me, we look fine.
We look fantastic. You look fantastic. You look great. Your hair looks spot on and solid.
Got it done.
Far out and right on, man.
That's right. Thank you.
Oh, well, how you doing, Chelsea? You doing okay?
Great. Thirsty.
Okay.
First, let's introduce the movie so we can get to the drinks.
That's right. Okay. So what is the movie this week?
Nobody
knows.
We watched Nobody, a 2021 movie, Nobody, starring Bob Odenkirk.
That's right. Directed by Ilya Naishuller.
Okay, I'll go for that.
Yeah. ILYA NAISHULLER. It came out in 2021. So the height of
COVID
presidencies.
Oh. It was a good year, 2021.
It was
Actually, they were supposed to release it before COVID, then COVID came around, so it got pushed back to 2021.
Interesting. If you're watching our video content, what we're looking at is Bob Odenkirk staring at us from behind our image. So he seems very, very mad that was the case. So that's the movie we're going to talk about. Before we get into that, of course, we have this week's charity.
Yes.
Chelsea, can you give us some introductions to what the charity is this week?
This week's charity is the Dream Factory. It was, I think Bob Odenkirk was doing some kind of laugh factory type thing in Canada, and it was for this charity and a couple of others, but this is one that he was vocal about supporting. So the Dream Factory is dedicated to granting dreams to children aged 3 to 18 who are critically or chronically ill. It says, unlike some similar organizations, which I hear the attitude in there, the Dream Factory does not limit its mission to children with life-threatening illnesses, recognizing that those with chronic conditions also endure significant emotional and physical challenges. So you can go to dreamfactoryinc.org to donate to the Dream Factory.
That's right.
Kids some dreams.
That's right. And that link to the website will be in our show notes, as it always is. as of last week. I didn't do it before. But, we always talked about it.
And as this week's movie we were watching in honor of my brother-in-law's birthday was yesterday. So then we said, what's your favorite movie? And he said, Nobody. And he just turned 47. I'm pretty sure. So we are going to be donating $47 to the Dream Factory.
On Howie's behalf.
Yes.
And so I think this is kind of a special episode because this is the first episode that we are good. Congratulations, Howie. This is the first episode that we're dedicating a relationship to somebody else that's not.
That is our relationship. And anyone who has heard me call my brother-in-law Brian, that is also his name. And his actual real name is Brian. But there was more than one Brian, so he got a nickname of Howie. So we all call him Howie. It felt weird for me to call him Brian, but anyway, that's my brother-in-law. He loves this movie.
I don't know if does he prefer Howie or does he prefer?
I don't think he cares what we call him because he loves us.
That's right. That's right.
Family.
And you all love Howie, so you can call him that. And
we love his suggestion for this movie because I had never seen it before and it was awesome.
Yes, it was awesome. In memory of Howie.
In memory.
Well, yeah, because he's in our mind. He's in our memories.
Yes, that's true.
He's in our hearts, right? Our minds.
Also in my contact list.
So in honor of Howie and his favorite movie, Nobody, we're doing that $47 to that charity, dreamfactoryinc.org. But also, I asked him what his favorite cocktail was.
You did. I was wondering what was sitting here next to me.
So you don't have to drink all of this,
Thank
Chelsea.
God, it's very full.
But it's just that it's a gigantic cube of ice.
I love the big circle ice. Oh no, it's a skull.
No, it melted.
Oh,
half of it melted.
when it was a circle.
It's looks like a mushroom. But it's a double single Irish or Scotch whiskey on the rocks.
Oh my gosh. How much did this set us back? $47?
Actually.
What?
Actually it did. Oh shit. Yeah. If I had the receipt, I think I do still somewhere.
What?
Chelsea,
blow my head off.
Chelsea doesn't drink straight Scotch, so
I don't.
She did that for you, Howie.
Don't. I just did that a little bit. That seems like a drink that I would have towards way end of the night that I'm already blasted and that's all that was left to drink, but I'm not ready to go home. And so they're like, oh, we have a Scotch. I'm like, go ahead, pour it on a glass.
When I stopped by Bevmo to get something, he's like, this one is okay if like you're just casual drinking, but if you want something special, I'm like, no, I don't want anything special. It's just Howie.
That's not what you said.
Howie
is special. And
then the second drink is not in honor of Howie. This one is in honor of the bus. So we are made a Greyhound, which is grapefruit and.
That's a train noise.
We all know the Greyhound train. Oh, cheers. We didn't cheers to Howie before, but cheers to that.
Howie, cheers to the movie, cheers to us, cheers to this Greyhound.
That's right.
Cheers to you.
Cheers to you, fair listener.
Well, that's very refreshing. I much prefer that.
But she did drink the Scotch for you, Howie. And I poured just enough for me for both of the drinks.
So that you can drink both of them?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like me buying you a bowling ball with my name on it.
It's very sweet.
Okay, so
all right,
let's get into it. What are we?
Winner of 2 golden schmoes. This movie. Most underrated and biggest surprise of the year. Those were the golden schmoes that it won. I didn't even know that was an award.
I didn't know it was an award either. We talked a little bit about all the different awards as you're doing the research of all the different awards that exist out there in the world.
As I'm doing my research, I will throw little things at you that I'm like, I got to save the big reveal of this fact for the podcast.
And I appreciate it.
I have to give you my little tiny thoughts I'm having. I can't keep them inside. I'll blow up.
So what's the big one? What's the big one that?
No, that was it. They went because I was like, God, there sure are a lot of different kinds of awards. I was like, don't tell him about the golden schmo. And I didn't. I kept it inside.
That was the big one. That was the golden. Anyway. I was like, oh my God, the golden schmo.
The golden schmo. Like Joe Schmo.
Oh, the Joe Schmo show.
And directed by Ilya Naishuller. We're calling him, right? He was young when he directed this. He's younger than we are.
Oh, it's a man.
I
I assumed it was a woman.
You're making me second guess myself,
now
but I'm
99%
sure it is a man. And because remember the song that we listened to?
Yeah.
He was the lead singer of that band. That was a man singing.
Oh yeah, it is. It is a dude.
He's known for directing Hardcore Henry. He loves that first person POV, and he also did direct some music videos because he started a band called Biting Elbows. And they have a song called Bad Motherfucker, and you can find it on Spotify.
Damn.
It's not bad. And he directed the music video for it. That's also, I guess, a first person POV music video for it. And he's the lead singer of that band.
Hardcore Henry was the one with District 9 guy, right?
Yes. What is his name?
Jürgen Prochnow.
Nope. Okay. So the plot, if you don't know, of Nobody, you're going to sit there and think of that guy's name, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Is that a docile family man reveals his true character after his house gets burgled, which I love that word so much, but not the act, just the word. His retaliation leads him into a bloody war with a Russian crime boss. So as it was written by Derek Kolstad, who wrote John Wick, it has a very similar feel. So if you like John Wick even a little bit, you will like this movie. Mm-hmm. They are very similar. Very, very similar,
very action-packed. The writer has a thing about...
Charlton Copley.
Yeah,
it just came up with it.
It's right there.
The guy from District 9.
District 9, directed by Neil Blomkamp, who wanted to do an Aliens movie.
We're not on that one.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it has a very John Wick feel to it.
Very.
A little bit different as far as the directing goes, but definitely with the right, like, because John Wick is like, they went after his family,
his dog,
and so he goes after them, right? Goes after them because taking over the memory, and
it's about a badass assassin fighter. I don't know
who was retired,
yes,
and then got sucked back into the game.
Mm-hmm.
They might as well be the same movie.
They might as well be. And I was trying to think when I was watching it, I'm like, do I like this better than John Wick? They both are really good movies and just in different ways.
What did you this? So real quick, this also reminds me of a little bit because of there's the family dynamic. It reminds me of that one
Family Guy.
No, dang it. No.
Give me some hints.
Not the David Lynch, but the Cronenberg movie, A History of Violence.
Okay, yeah, I could see that. He's
or like bad day. The son thinks he's not like why aren't you sticking up for me? Like, why are you such a pushover? Then he snaps, and then you see that he isn't a pushover.
Yeah, he's got a hidden part of himself that's hiding from even his closest loved ones.
So in a way, it's like History of Violence meets John Wick. That's what this movie really is.
Meets the Bob
parents.
And David show.
Yeah. By the way, a correction. I kept saying Bob and Tom. That's like a morning DJ couple in Oklahoma
from when we used to live there.
So, but what did you think of the movie? Right. I know you said you
talking about Nobody now.
Yeah, Nobody.
I really liked it a lot. I would watch it again. I would recommend it.
Like what? So you talk about like you almost liking it more than John Wick.
Yeah, there were parts of it I think that I liked more just because it is a little bit less fantasy than John Wick is. John Wick is very there's a lot of ambiance and the environment is all very like dark and everything's wet for some reason, and so it's I think in Nobody it's more relatable.
Yeah.
As far as, I mean, I've never beat anyone up in my house or on a bus or ever.
It's relatable because you usually beat me on the bus
in cards.
No, you're right about the John Wick comparison because like the John Wick is
John Wick is like the Crow for the newer generation. If we're just like making movies be like other movies.
Yeah, what is like the Hotel of Assassins? That are like there's all this like this world is full of assassins and like John Wick kills hundreds and hundreds of people, which is badass, but it's also
and
like
all assassins.
Yeah, it's like That's a lot of people. Where are they all coming from? He's basically, you have to retrain all these people eventually.
So nobody, this guy, his character's name is Hutch, and Hutch is just taking on like a Russian, I don't know, do they have cartels? I don't know. A mob, a Russian.
Yeah, Russian mob.
Bad
cartel.
Russian group of people.
The mob cartel.
Group of friends, a club, if you will. The Russian club of people.
Yeah.
And so he's not taking on the world. He's just, I mean, although he might now after, he really dug his dick in. That's what I was going to say, and that didn't make any sense.
It really dug his dick in. So the one thing I noticed about this, and I'd seen this movie before. I liked it. I thought it was good. I forgot that he was so kind of not defanged, but he was broken.
His spirit was broken. But he was doing the same thing every day.
But almost not really. Like he just seemed like a dick the entire time. Like he's like what did she fall in love with? He's just kind of an emotionless guy. Once he started
beating people up again, he found his happiness again.
His groove.
And then
how Hutchie found his groove back.
And
got his groove back.
So maybe she felt, and his wife seemed to know something of his past. She knew how to take care of his wounds and everything like that. So maybe she kind of loves that part of him too. Yeah.
Remember how we were, or what was that line?
Remember how we used to be?
Yeah.
I do. Yeah. That's what they say.
Yeah. And it seemed to me that the wife, she had some inkling that he was in some kind of way. But after the Russians attack the house and Hutch puts all his family in the basement, locks them up in the safe room down.
That time I was like, well, the Russians didn't start. It didn't start with the Russians attacking.
Right. But there's the part where they're after he's done, the family comes out and they're driving away, and she's like, what's going on? He's like, I need you to be blind one more time. I promise.
So he probably told her he was getting out of it.
Yeah. Or talking about being blind, that she knew something was up, but he never fully elaborated on what was going on. And then earlier on, talking about you're a veteran. And he's like, I was just an auditor. Yeah.
In all those 3-letter agencies.
Yeah. And then the wife is like, well, maybe you can ask your brother. He was a Marine. He was a real soldier. He was a real soldier. Which early on sounds like an insult, but she knows that Hutch was something more than just like a paper pusher in the army or whatever.
He's not anything. He's like, you see his file at some point during the movie and everything is redacted. Everything. So he's supposed to not exist at all. So they can't call him a soldier. He wasn't. He even says in the movie at one point, I couldn't arrest anybody. So I made sure there was no one left to have to arrest.
Yeah. Yeah. We're the first 15, 20 minutes. It took a while to kind of ramp up into, it had to show how, I won't say pathetic, but how domesticated he was from his previous life. And then him kind of getting out of that, the robbery that happened at their house, that is what's kind of triggers the catalyst for his change. What did you feel about the first, 15, 20 minutes? What did you expect? Did you
almost hate my life? I'm like, oh my God, am I in a rut also? He's doing the same thing every day. Monday, this day, Tuesday, the trash, Wednesday, this thing, Thursday, this thing. It's like, that is how life can be in suburbia.
And did you, this being the first time you saw the movie, were you like, where's this going to go?
No.
Okay.
Because I had to research the movie before we watched it. So I knew exactly pretty much what was going to happen.
Okay. That's a question you asked Dexter.
I was wondering how Bob Odenkirk did it, because he actually has gone through himself 2 separate home invasions. And one of them apparently was very traumatic. And so this kind of came from that. I think that maybe it was loosely based somehow on his experience. And so how to go through a pretend home invasion after you've been traumatized by one, that seems scary.
Yeah.
PTSD.
Jeez, yeah. I'm glad he's okay. I think he had some heart issues too.
He had a heart attack on set.
Yeah, of this movie.
Yes.
Okay. Jeez.
I know, but he had been like rehearsing, that's not what you call it when you exercise, training for over 2 years for this movie with jujitsu and boxing and all kinds of things. And so they said that was really the only thing that saved him when he had his heart attack, was that he was in better shape than he would have been if he hadn't done those things.
Dang. No, that's awesome, because he is in shape in this movie.
Mm-hmm. He never takes his shirt off, which I appreciate, that they can just make a movie about a guy kicking ass, and we don't have to, like, it's not about muscles necessarily. Yeah. It's not about like, ooh, eye candy, or like, let's see some sweaty men or whatever. It wasn't for me. I don't know how you feel. No, you were disappointed. I was disappointed.
But I am what made up for it was that sexy ass brown jacket he puts on from his dad's house at the funeral home. Like, it's like he goes to the funeral, not the funeral home, the
convalescent home.
Convalescent home to see his dad, and like goes into the closet and grabs a brown jacket.
You love a brown jacket. You know, when we were watching Rambo last week, both of us, with Brian Dennehy's jacket, like, that's a nice jacket. I like that jacket.
Yeah, a good brown jacket.
Everyone needs a good brown jacket.
I wore black all the time, but a damn good brown jacket really makes
you feel so manly.
Yeah, like I feel woodsy.
you're like, all of a sudden I smell like a pine tree. Bob Odenkirk, who plays Hutch, you knew him already for a long time from Mr. Show with Bob and David. I have a really hard time now not saying Bob and Tom. But I didn't realize that he like created that. Like, he wrote and created that show. He did 226 episodes of Conan, 96 episodes of SNL. He wrote that Matt Foley motivational speaker sketch, that band down by the river. And he is a consultant on Tim and Eric. Awesome show. Great job.
Great job.
So he's all over the comedy world.
Yeah.
And then he comes out with something like this, and you're like, what a versatile guy.
and then he's on I Think You Should Leave.
Yes.
We made sure Dexter watched that skit, because I love the skit he's in, where he's talking about the little white lie in the, it's like, yeah, sorry, the ice cream shop's closed because it's too cold outside. Right. And then
pulls a stranger into his lie, and then the stranger just keeps the lie going. I've got 2 barracudas. I gotta have doubles of barracuda.
Actually, I got triples of the barracuda just to be safe.
Triples makes it safe. And I'm not alone. I have a wife. Tell her I have a wife,
but she's dying.
Yeah, that's a funny sketch.
Yeah, he is versatile. He is versatile, and like he can do that, like with the subtle facial expressions,
which is weird to me to read something like, and his breakthrough role was in Better Call Saul. And I'm like,
I forgot about Better Call Saul.
Oh, I thought you were about to get mad at my fact. Like, I can't believe when people say that about Bob Odenkirk, which means Odin's church.
Interesting. No, I forgot about Better Call Saul, or Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. Like,
oh, okay. See, because that's, to me, like, I guess that was his breakout role for a lot of people.
Dramatic
was when they discovered him.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, it's like his breakout dramatic role
for decades.
In Better Call Saul, I watched the first season. Is great.
Never seen it. Never seen Breaking Bad.
Better see Saul.
I'm sorry. I'm not opposed to it. I just haven't gotten around to it. Although I'm not a huge fan of Bryan Cranston, but I might have to eat my words if I watch it and love it.
So what I want to do briefly, Chelsea, is we're going to do a PG-13 segment, but we're not going to do that right now. We're not going to preview that at all. But one thing we do want to do is we want to talk to Howie. Now, we didn't get him on microphone because our schedule was super packed this week.
Yes, as was his.
But we did send him some questions which he provided responses to.
That's right.
And so just, I think we'll want to get right into that.
Yeah, we asked him if he thought Hutch was a hero, an anti-hero, or something else. And he said that he thought he was an anti-hero because of his moral ambiguity and because of his reluctance to fight back, except for when his family is at risk. He said he was a blend of neutral good and chaotic neutral. And I'm not good at following that chart ever.
You nerd.
But is that somewhere top right, top left? I don't know.
It's like the
middle is neutral,
good,
right?
neutral, evil, right? And then like chaotic is like chaotic good would be like, yeah, you're gonna do what you want, but you're mostly a good person.
Chaotic good would be like someone who drops money down on a town from a hot air balloon and it makes people riot down below because they're doing it because they want to give money to the people.
Yeah, like they're doing good, but they're like as opposed to like the Joker, which would be chaotic evil, who's just like you don't
know what he's gonna do.
Right. So in that way, the main Russian villain in this is probably more of a chaotic evil type of character.
Yeah. Okay, I get that.
So,
but he's saying he's more neutral good and chaotic neutral, good neutral and chaotic neutral, but
yeah,
somewhere in between, in the borderline between those two.
Yeah, I can see that. Like he's not a bad guy. He's not a good guy. He did stuff for the government. We all know that governments do everything that's good. So, like
spit my drink out.
So I can see that. What to that question, you feel he's neutral? Like, do you think he's anti-hero? What's your opinion on it?
Yeah, I've got to go with anti-hero because sometimes when he was attacking people, he wanted to, he was hoping those guys got on the bus because he was all hopped up from the home invasion and he didn't have anywhere to put that energy. And so he wanted these asshole douchebag guys to get on this bus so I can beat you up, so I can beat somebody up. And the way he punched that brick building, like holy mackerel. So yeah, I wouldn't say he was a hero. You could tell sometimes that he, like, his eyes would just go blank as he's just like stabbing people left and right. He's dead inside.
Black eyes, like doll's eyes.
Like a doll's eyes.
What was the next question we asked him?
We asked him what scene resonated the most with him, and he said it was between the bus scene, which everyone seems to love and know, and I don't know, that's like the one scene that everyone, if you haven't seen this movie, they know the scene still. I didn't, but now I do. It's
a worse version of the bus scene from Shang-Chi, joke.
And he also said the scene where when he's talking about sparing the man's life, and then finding him later on, a year later, and finding out that he had started his own family, and then he realized that he was jealous and he wanted that. He wanted to have a family also. He likes that scene.
Oh yeah, that is a really good scene, and I like that was. I said this is the second time I said catalyst, but like him to be like, no, that's what I want. That's
what I want to do.
I want to change my life. I do like that. He said, I may have overcorrected a little bit.
Yeah, it got a little too boring. But that's the thing, is that the grass is always greener, right? So he's doing this assassin thing, and it's fine, but then he'd rather be calm and raising a family, and then he's doing that and he loves it, and then it's fine, and he'd rather be killing people again. And so,
yeah,
find a good work-life balance.
Yeah, I think
just kill 1 or 2 people a week, and then you don't feel like you need to go on a spree.
I think that's kind of like a fairly common feeling, right? Like, so one of my favorite stories is a Ray Bradbury story, Rocket Man, which is what the Elton John song is based off of.
Tell me more.
But Rocket Man is about, it's a short story in Illustrated Man, I think. And what it is about is this boy and his mom, his dad is a rocket man, is like kind of like a space trucker. And every time his dad goes on like an expedition, he's like,
He looks down at Earth.
He looks down at Earth. He wants to go back home.
Mm-hmm.
Then he's home. He's like, I don't want to leave you guys again. I want to be here. And then sure enough, after some amount of time, he's like, okay, yeah, I'll be back. I'll be back. Cause he
looks at the stars.
He wants both of those worlds. And in the end, he dies in space.
We all want it all, don't we? We all want everything all the time.
And so there's a certain sense of that too. Like sometimes I miss the military. Sometimes I miss being in that kind of environment and with those folks. But then I'm like, I don't miss it that much. But there's still aspects of that nostalgic aspect. It's like if you went back to if you can go back to high school. And you're
God,
like,
help me.
Look at me. Look at all I know. And you'd be like, no, that sucks. I don't want to be here.
Go back anywhere.
I want to be in elementary school again.
I want to go to forward me. I want to go to future me.
Your future you is going to be like, no. Go back.
You're dead in this year. Get out of here. We did talk to him about why he thought, or the difference between this movie and John Wick, and he felt like this movie got overlooked because John Wick made such a big smash. And then even though John Wick was before nobody, but then came 2 and 3 and 4, maybe, I think.
Yeah.
But he said that he thinks this one is a little bit more relatable and hits closer to home for those who have maybe been on the darker side of society, he says. So what are you hiding, sir? Your secret identity.
How he's an assassin? I mean, I wouldn't put it past him.
Tell us.
He was an assassin of bees. I helped him chop down a tree one time, and there was a bunch of bees there.
He's a bee assassin.
And then we're like trying to chop all this wood up, and all these damn bees were attacking us.
So it's your guys' fault that the environment is going to hell because all the bees are dying?
No, those bees shouldn't have been there. They didn't ask. They didn't pay rent. I don't want no.
They were on Airbnb. I did ask him. I can't remember what song was playing. The music was really interesting in this movie. They weren't typical like action movie soundtrack kind of music. They would play like kind of odd pop songs and slow songs or jazzy songs or something during the fight scene. So I asked Howie what his fight song would be, and he says "Tiptoe Through the Tulips" by Tiny Tim, which is oddly very fitting.
How does that go?
Tiptoe through the tulips. But I can't even sing as high as Tiny Tim does. So he sings really high, plays a ukulele.
Oh.
You know, he's a really tall man with really long curly hair from the 70s, 60s, and 70s. No. Whenever I think of Tiny Tim, I think of Ebenezer Scrooge. Oh, this other guy, he was called Tiny Tim, ironically, because he was a big, tall man.
I see. And he had a high voice. Well,
yeah, those were my questions for Howie, and I'm sure he would have had a lot more interesting things to say about it, but I just could text so fast. I mean, that's it. Her 3 questions, I was done.
She got fast typing fingers.
I got fat fingers. I can't type that fast.
What is if you didn't tell us what your fight song would be?
I don't fight, so.
But if you had to fight.
I don't know. I didn't have time to think about this. There's so many.
Okay.
It'd probably be Stockholm Syndrome by Muse.
Ooh, there you go. Look at you. That's good. Well, I'm glad
I think I was doing the Knight Rider theme song just now. Didn't it sound like that right now? There you go.
Yeah. You know what? I never remember the difference between Knight Rider and Airwolf. But I think it's like Airwolf's like no, it's because I was going to do Knight Rider again. Airwolf is a good soundtrack too.
I don't remember Airwolf's song right off the top of my head.
Yeah, it's got Ernest Borgnine in it.
I confused Airwolf with wait, is Airwolf "You're the Best Around"?
No.
Oh, what am I singing? Is that Karate Kid?
I think, yeah.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Airwolf was a TV show. It was Knight Rider, but in a helicopter.
We're not gonna take it. That's my fight song.
Breaking the law.
Now we're just singing. What has this podcast turned into?
What else have you got for us?
Let's see. I don't have that much on the main villain of the movie. His character's name is Yulian Kuznetsov, played by Alexei. Oh boy, here we go. Serebryakov. I'm going to say.
That was a good accent.
He's a really respected dramatic actor in Russia. I don't know that much about him, but he did win a Golden Globe for a movie in 2014 called Leviathan.
Oh, that's the one with Peter Weller. And
it's possible.
No, it's not.
Oh,
that's a Leviathan in the 80s, a sea monster movie.
Okay, so Christopher Lloyd's also in this movie. Let me say that before I jump into my next bit, which was Christopher Lloyd in Buckaroo Banzai?
I don't know. I've never seen Buckaroo Banzai. Yeah.
Christopher Lloyd plays Bob Odenkirk's dad. He was like 86 or something when he made this movie. Let's see. He was born in 38. Maybe he was 83.
Oh my gosh, I didn't realize he was that old.
I know, and he killed it. So he plays the dad, and if anyone doesn't know who Christopher Lloyd is, get on the internet.
Scott! I can't believe you don't know. Great Scott. Great Scott.
He's in Clue.
Yeah, he's in Clue, yeah.
He plays a Klingon in Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock.
Oh my gosh. He's in Angels in the Outfield.
He is. I love that movie. He plays Judge Doom in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. He kills that shoe.
That's right. He's not in Judge Doom in Judge Dredd, which is actually a Judge Doom is a character in the Judge Dredd universe.
Oh my gosh, trying to say Judge Dredd too many times. That's
yeah, Christopher, it was good. It was good seeing him. What I liked about his character in this was you think he's going to be just like he's just sitting in the convalescent home, just like hanging out, doing nothing. And I'm like, oh, they're going to take him out, aren't they? Right. In like a regular movie, not this movie, that would be the expectation, like the kind of fridge moment of like
drinking your drink.
They're gonna kill the dad.
Oh, that would be the dog. Oh yeah. No!
They kill the dad, and now he's really gonna go after him. So I like to see that.
Nobody good died, and I mean, nobody nice died in this.
The subversion of that trope, I appreciated. We're like, no, actually, even though he's old like that, he's still competent as hell, and he's gonna walk around with 50 shotguns.
So nonchalant. His son comes and goes into a closet and does a thing and says, "I gotta go somewhere." Well, then you better get going.
Got to do a thing. That's like if you were an assassin and your grandpa was supporting you, like, well,
yep. Get after it, girl, is what he'd say.
Yeah, it's good seeing him, and then it's good to see RZA,
actually Robert Fitzgerald Diggs. That's his real name, but I would never call him that to his face.
No, he probably
call him RZA.
He'd probably punch you square in the jaw.
He's been in a lot of stuff, but he plays himself in a lot of things, oddly. But he should be in more stuff because he was really good in this movie.
Was he in the Wu-Tang show?
He wasn't in it. That was like a biopic kind of a show, like a dramatization. So he wasn't in it. He just like assisted in writing. And
all right. Do we know anybody who might have met RZA?
My brother worked on the Wu-Tang show that was on. I don't even know what channel it was on.
Did it win any awards?
It's possible. Don't ask me about my brother's career. I don't know any. Don't ask me about my business, Kay.
Shout out to brothers. Yeah, no, it's
my
good.
brother helped RZA set up his Wi-Fi, his internet connection, so that they could do remote recordings and stuff like that. And so
it just occurred to me when I started talking about it, like, oh yeah, that's right, Robert.
Because I said his name is Robert.
Yeah. Like, oh yeah.
And my brother Robert's getting phone calls from RZA, like, Robert, help me set it up. I gotta get connected. Yeah, that's cute.
Everybody has internet problems from time to time.
RZA plays Hutch's brother.
Yeah.
And we don't know any other details about it.
Other than like he was practicing an instrument when we first meet him over the radio.
It was like the trumpet or something. It was something jazzy.
Yeah. I like the incorporation of the jazz elements in there.
You don't know a lot about Hutch's family, Christopher Lloyd, his dad, and RZA, his brother.
Yeah.
But you don't need to. Everything you need to know is in the movie. That you can see that they are fully connected. They're fully there for each other. They fully understand what each is going through. And then they part ways. And then they'll come back and they'll call and say, and they'll start looking at their watch the second they call so that they can count 30 seconds before they hang up. And so there's not a lot of backstory, but it didn't need it. And I was glad there wasn't a whole bunch of extra.
Yeah, like you see the picture when they're younger as kids, and then Christopher Lloyd being the dad in a picture. And then, like Hutch goes to see his dad at the home just to have dinner, right? Mm-hmm. So like there's still that kind of relationship. Christopher Lloyd doesn't even look at him and is like, what's wrong with you? You know, what's going on? Mm-hmm. Like nothing. It's like, you don't look like nothing's going on. Mm-hmm. So they have a family connection. And I think that's one of the things I gleaned from the movie this time around, watching it again, was it is big on, yes, of course, it's like Hutch's family, his wife and his two kids, and how important they are to him. Mm-hmm. But then there is his dad, his brother,
his family side, yeah.
and then on the other side, the main Russian boss, he loses his brother and he gets pissed off about his brother, who he doesn't even like.
Yeah.
Right. He didn't.
Yeah. There's family connections everywhere.
Yeah. He doesn't care about his family. He just wants to get revenge for whatever. Right.
But even if you don't like your brother, you might still be sad that they died.
That's true. Because he does say you don't get to choose your family.
Yeah. Speaking of family, his wife is played by Connie Nielsen. That I was like watching, like, where do I know her from? It's driving me crazy.
Where is she from? Because
Gladiator and Wonder Woman.
Oh,
in Gladiator, she's the sister / like love interest.
She's Gal Gadot.
Close. She's Connie Nielsen.
Okay.
She has a son with Lars Ulrich. That's an interesting thing about her.
From Metallica?
Yes. They're not together anymore, but they were together for quite a few years.
The drummer from Metallica?
Yes. There's only one Lars Ulrich I know of. So if you know of more than one, think of which one you think I would know. Okay. It's that one.
So the drummer from Metallica. That's great.
Yes,
That's good.
Yes.
I didn't.
Wait, he is the drummer, right?
Yeah,
okay.
He is.
The little one.
I didn't know he
could procreate.
Could procreate. I thought he was too busy fighting Napster still.
Still. People who are listening or watching are like, what's Napster?
What's Napster? Is that anything like Earthlink?
Gosh, what year is this podcast?
Is this web crawler?
I have 47 AOL minutes left on my disk.
Oh my God, this 14K baud modem is not going fast.
Now you lost me. Oy, oy. Thank you for that. Glad we did all that sound testing at the beginning so you could do that into the microphone.
Connie Nielsen, yeah, so she's in Gladiator. That makes sense. She's probably
in Hippolyta in Wonder Woman, and then in Gladiator she loves Russell Crowe, but Joaquin Phoenix loves her.
Yeah, I think, and she's in Gladiator too. I think.
I do think so as well.
As the same character.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
From the first
Gladiator. Her character's name is in that. In this one, she's Becca.
Yeah,
but I think it was because she was blonde in this one that I was having trouble placing her.
Yeah. I did like the little because Hutch talks about, he's like, after his fight on the bus, he's like, I miss you. Then he finally opens up. It's also like a chance for him to express his feelings.
She's stitching him up.
Yeah, like it's like it breaks the cycle, breaks the monotony, and like opens up an opportunity for talking for communication. Mm-hmm. In that whole monotony, like the kind of circular, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it keeps missing the trash, the dumpster. He's doing the pull-ups where
at the
bus stop, and he's just like he's just.
Why doesn't he have a car?
He's just admiring.
Weird question.
Maybe he didn't want to get registered.
Oh, maybe he can't. Yeah.
Yeah.
He can't get a license.
Yeah, and he's doing pull-ups in front of the realty picture of his wife. Mm-hmm. And like he does care about her. He does actually love her. And I love that it conveys that throughout, even though he yearns for this other life still. He just wants to get into a fucking fight.
Both.
He loves his wife at the end. I think this time we'll see in Nobody too. if he
it's coming out in August, I think.
If he goes to overcorrects again.
I didn't really say or read too much about the kids that play his son and his daughter, but that daughter is so cute.
Yeah.
And she was just like his little shining star. His son is like a 17-year-old teenager. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
That kind of teenager.
I know what you're saying.
Oh my God. You just want to shake them or punch them or send them back to the womb. But they're yours now. Now you gotta raise them, and they treat you like shit.
Yeah.
He's that kind of teenager. But then his little shining light is like, she's like 9 or 10, and she's like, "Hi, Daddy, we should get a cat." And he's like, "Yeah, okay." And she's just, she's precious. And
it's precious.
Usually they make the little girl in lots of movies like annoying little sister type. She wasn't that. She was refreshing.
Refreshing, yes, that's the term I would use for
like
it.
My drink.
she was getting not annoying, and I love the little moment when she's like, "I can't find my kitty bracelet,"
and he snaps. That's when he's like, "Mother,"
and that's the turning point for him. Like, everything else I was fine with, but you steal my daughter's kitty bracelet. And he finds out later.
Finds it under the couch. He's a sneaky thing after he's already killed like 25 people. I do like that a couple of times he starts to like tell a little bit about himself to these people who are dying, and then it gets really emotional and deep as he's talking about himself, and then he turns back and cuts them and they're dead, and he's like, "No, all right, never mind."
And it did that. It did that with the dead people later on. The first time that happens, like he's doing an internal monologue, and then the cop interrupts him as he's like, "Oh, they broke in with a pizza box in the garage door," right? He's like doing like an internal monologue there, and then gets interrupted by the cop.
Yes.
And I wonder if there was like trying to be kind of like a satire-ish aspect of, because there's not a whole lot of joking throughout the movie, but then those moments are kind of funny, right?
There was enough comedy in it for me, like where I thought, I mean, even some of the, well, maybe this is just a sick, twisted part of me, but some of the deaths are like so ridiculous that they make me go, because like RZA shot his gun and it went through 3 people like in a row.
Yeah, that was badass.
It made me like, but I probably shouldn't laugh. I should probably say, "Oh, my lands.
Oh my
little heart.
My Lanta.
My ticker."
Yeah, I didn't think that was funny, but I thought it was badass because
a lot of it was
a high-powered rifle like that. I wonder if that's what it would actually do. Plus, like when you play video games, like you're like you strive for that triple headshot.
I guess the only reason I think I'm entertained by it is because I don't know what it feels like to get shot. This is by comparison, and this is why I think that when we were watching Mission Impossible recently, and they were talking about him getting the bends if he rose to the surface of the ocean too fast, and they're like, "You'll get cramps." I'm like, "Oh, I know what that's like. That's gonna be terrible." So I was right there with him.
I'm gonna write Tom Cruise right now. Like, let me tell you about cramps, boy.
They like bent his leg back, and I was like, "Oh, that's like that yoga move that hurts so bad." But this one is like people getting shot and stabbed, and I'm just like, I don't know what that's like.
Look at Tom.
That's hilarious.
Look, he's getting flung around in an airplane. I know.
Back on nobody being stabbed.
I know how that feels. But speaking of Mission Impossible, so just a real quick aside. A shout out to our friend Matt Hurt. He invited us to his podcast, The Obsessive Viewer, to talk about Mission Impossible, the Final Reckoning.
65.
Mission Impossible 65, the final reckoning. So we're gonna record that with him tomorrow, and he's gonna release it later this week. But so just shout out, go follow Obsessive Viewer and Matt Hurt. He's my Twilight Zone podcast friend. And last time I was on, he was like, we talked about Mission Impossible. He's like, "You want to come on for Final Reckoning?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And I forgot. And then so he sent me the message like, "Oh shit." But he was like, "And you can bring on Chelsea too for
like,
an Our Real Relationship."
I'm allowed to come too?
Yeah.
And so then I was made to go watch Mission Impossible 18 or whatever number it is.
Which I don't even know the last one you saw. This one, but
number 1. I don't know. Tom Cruise just never stopped running. I just saw him running.
We love him.
Something exploded.
We love some running cruises. All right, so Obsessive Viewer, go check that out. Back to this. Last kind of thoughts. Anything that you want to?
Michael Ironside is in this movie,
yes.
And I don't think I would have recognized him right away if I didn't already know he was going to be in this movie because he looked very different to me. Michael Ironside plays Hutch's father-in-law, and you guys might know him from Total Recall, but definitely Scanners.
Yeah.
Starship Troopers. But he's changed. We all get old, don't we?
Yeah, we sure do.
But
he's one of the good ones. He's one of the good characters too.
Yes, he's fair and he's like, oh, you didn't do anything? That seems about right for you. But he's not saying it in a mean way. He's like accepting that his son-in-law is just not a tough guy. That's fine.
Yeah. Like, and he says like, I'm rooting for you.
Yeah, that's nice.
You know, that's I like
I think
that.
Michael Ironside should play more good guys. I like that. I think he got pegged up. I think after Scanners, he got pigeonholed as a kind of the crazy over the top villain kind of guy, but he does a good, nice guy.
Yeah. He's a good guy in Starship Troopers. Well, I mean, as good a guy as fascists can be.
He's the best fascist. If you're going to be a fascist. Holy macanoli.
Him and Clancy Brown, both great fascists.
Fascist. That's a word like Wiener Schnitzel. I have to think about it before I say it because I always want to say Wiener Schnitzel.
You know what? You're just bad at German words. I wonder.
I am. I don't think German.
Fascist is German, but it's because it's fascist.
Das Fascist. And
Schnitzel.
I think it's just the German part of me trying to like reject itself.
Yeah.
Reject the host.
What other last
tiny
things?
Little bit about Michael Ironside was that he wrote a play when he was 15 and he won first place in a Canada-wide contest. He's not Canadian, but I don't think. This movie was filmed in Canada, so there were a lot of Canadian associations with it. But that he won that, and then he used the money he won to direct a play, to make a play out of it.
Good job.
He's just a little erudite. Love it.
Good job, Michael Ironside.
Let's see. Do I have anything else? Bob Odenkirk did almost all of his own stunts. It was one of the goons on the bus that taught him how to fight.
Goons on the bus fight round and round.
That's all I got, other than that it's rumored that Christopher Lloyd almost dropped out because he had irritable bowel syndrome.
Oh no, that sounds shitty.
Stupid.
All right. Well, so I like this movie. I'm glad I watched it again.
Me too.
You
really
liked it. That's okay. Yeah, I recommend it. If you have not seen it, go check it out. We watched it on Peacock, I think.
Yeah, but then you get, we don't
bunch
pay
of ads.
We don't pay Peacock. I don't know if you have to pay Peacock for no ads, but we don't pay them, so we got the ads.
We don't. We'll take them ads. We'll take all them prescription ads.
Because it makes time for a bathroom break.
That's right. Irritable bowel syndrome.
Yeah,
not one of the ads we saw.
Prescriptions that I don't know what any of the prescriptions do.
Except give you side effects.
They'll all give me diarrhea. I don't know what it's for, but it's gonna make me nauseous and dizzy, and I might have a heart attack.
Weight loss. Okay, so that's our talk about Nobody. Before we wrap things up, it is time for our second episode segment. The second time we're doing this segment, which is Chelsea. What are things you forgot to mention last time that you want to mention?
Downer thing that I forgot.
Down away.
Sorry, guys.
Go down on me right now.
Yowza. I forgot when we were talking about Rambo, and it was directed by Ted Kotcheff. And we try to say R.I.P. whenever we're talking about someone who's passed away. And we watch a lot of older movies, so there's a lot of toasting around here. We toast a lot to poor RIPs. But anyway,
toast
Ted
to that.
Kotcheff, RIP. He died in April of this year, and it's only June 3rd, so that's like a month ago.
Yeah, that's why we couldn't get him for an interview.
Oh my gosh. Poor Ted Kotcheff's family.
Yeah.
That are listening to this. Now they're insulted.
Rest in peace, Kotcheff and your family.
He directed Rambo.
He did.
Directed himself right into our hearts.
Here's a little bit of a listener said short outs.
What?
It's on the International RSS, we say listener suggestions and short outs. And so
those aren't real words.
I got caught up in saying like short out.
Oh, you were in the wrong podcast.
Yeah.
Got it. Can you focus on me? Thanks.
Oh yeah. So a listener shout out. I almost did it again. First time I'm messaging him today, Jeff. He shot us a note after the First Blood episode. Well, he sent me a note, texted me, because we asked, like, what is the bandana?
What's the headband for?
Why is the headband there? Turns out there is an actual reason the headband is there, is because in the movie he gets shot, like he gets grazed by a bullet, so he makes a makeshift bandage. And that is why he has the bandana.
Much more sense. And when Brandon, when you said that to all three of us, Dexter and I both were like, oh. Yeah. But then Dexter said, but then why is he wearing it in the other movies?
I don't know.
That's a good
He
question.
gets grazed again.
He just has an ugly scar there that he's covering up.
Yeah. He's like, no, I want this again.
I like that headband.
If I ever get grazed, I'm always going to put it.
Yeah, maybe he's just keeping it handy.
Yeah, even if it's like on like his lower leg, he's like, got to put a bandana just to remind me. Maybe that's his reminder bandana. Like
you tie a string around your finger.
Right. But he's like, I don't have any.
Remember to kill 17 people.
I don't have any string, but I gotta tie.
Apparently he still has a piece of that cloth, because that was they found that piece of cloth on set, and so it was like this really precious prop, because they couldn't duplicate it, they just found it, and then he ripped it all to shreds, and he still has a piece of it.
Oh, rest in peace.
But that's Rambo.
Rest in peace, the rest of that cloth.
Next week we're going to be celebrating National Corn on the Cob Day.
Woo!
So we're going to be watching Field of Dreams.
That's right. I was like, oh shit. I forget what it got. Yeah, Field of Dreams. The famous movie about he who walks between the rows.
Corn on the Cob movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's either that or Children of the Corn, and we're trying not to do horror movies all the time.
Yeah,
we're branching out.
Which we haven't done in a while, but I think this will be a nice one where it's like there's no killing. There are dead people, but there's no killing.
Yeah. We don't know how they died.
We don't know how they
could have just died choked on soup.
Maybe they were killed. We don't know.
Maybe they were killed with kindness.
That's right. Or choked to death with corn.
Maybe from being in the cornfield. And so that's why they live there. Yeah. The whole baseball team went on vacation to the cornfield. They all died in the cornfield.
Yeah, they ate poisoned corn.
We made it into a horror movie.
And that's what Field of Screams is about. Yeah, so that's what we're going to do that next week. I think we have some ideas for charities. We'll cover that when we come out. But speaking of charities,
this week is the Dream Factory. It's
dreamfactoryinc.org.
Thank you.
Go out there again. We're gonna donate $47 on behalf of Howie and his birthday. Yes. So. You know, we love him. We love that he's part of our family, and we love that we were able to like talk about something that we love talking to each other and about our stuff, and it feels good to incorporate aspects of our family into this as well. It feels good
to talk to someone other than you, for sure.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at.
Yeah, you were just dancing around it.
Yeah, whenever I'm editing, I'm like, mute Chelsea. Let me just hear myself.
That being said, we are going to have a PG-13 this episode.
Yeah.
Okay, so now it's time to get Dexter in here and get his views on Nobody
knows.
All right, you do the deep breathing and crack your neck and all the things.
All right, everybody. On behalf of myself, Brandon, and
Chelsea,
thank you for listening to Our Real Relationships. And
you still have an issue with that.
I had problems with my R's when I was a kid.
Our Real Relationships.
That's right. Everybody take a deep breath.
You didn't say let it out.
Oh, let it out. And namaste.
Namaste right here. love you. Brandon, I love you.
Love you too. I thought you were talking with them.